Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ISMAHANI HUDA Binti Ismail, metric number 2020-973-9H. So today I would like to present my final year project as titled Ranking Variation of Sport Utility Vehicle SUV using Fuzzy ELECTRE.
Nowadays, many people like to show off their luxuries as a proof of their success. Since SUV can be said as a symbolic to individuality and luxury, it attracts people to buy it and also become of one's dream car. In order to buy an SUV, people have to face the difficulty to choose the best SUV. They might be confused on which SUV is suitable with them. Is because there are too many things such as criteria and brands of SUV need to be considered in the process of making the decision. With the hasty decision, consumers might regret with their wrong decision, even though consumers have their own thoughts, but it is more valid if they have a proper method to help them to make the decision. And hence, the objective of this study, which are to rank SUV for decision-making purpose and to compare fuzzy ELECTRE ranking with decision makers' original ranking, can solve the problem arise. Then, the study was focused on 5 alternatives for criteria and fuzzy ELECTRE method. Fuzzy ELECTRE method was used to rank the shown alternative and criteria. Supporting detail why I choose Fuzzy ELECTRE as research methodology. This is because there are a few authors out there use Fuzzy ELECTRE in their study. For example, in 2012, Danishba and Amirul used Fuzzy ELECTRE to evaluate the field of construction. In their study, they want to choose the best project among the 3 selected construction projects. Hence, the result shows that Fuzzy ELECTRE is the good method to evaluate this project. In 2018 also, Taki et al. Used Fuzzy ELECTRE to selecting the best supplier for shoe industry. In order to choose the best supplier, they use it by consider lower total cost, increasing market competitive, improving customer satisfaction, and also agree that Fuzzy ELECTRE is the best method in selecting supplier. Last but not least, in 2019, Comsiah used Fuzzy ELECTRE in selecting the best cement vendor company. This study was selected to evaluate the 5 criteria, and by using Fuzzy ELECTRE also, management can choose the best supplier that is most profitability to their company based on 5 criteria towards the best cement vendor. The decision maker who involved in this study is Amirul Aiman Farahi bin Hanafi. He is a student from UiTM Seremban who really interested in buying an SUV. He planned to buy an SUV as his second car after finish his study, even though he already has a sedan car as present from his parents. But currently, he is in dilemma to choose his dream car because there are a few suggested cars attracts him. To help Aiman make his decision, we use the Fuzzy ELECTRE method to rank his chosen car. During the interview session, he was asked to rate the importance of criteria in purpose to buying an SUV. Then, he also asked to rate the performance of SUVs based on each criterion. The following table shows the rate of important criteria and the rate of performance of SUV based on each criterion. The analysis of data was started with converting the collected data into fuzzy weight of criteria and normalize each criterion of fuzzy important weight. The second step is the decision metric, which was obtained from rating the performance of alternative of criteria was defuzzified before it can be normalized. In the fourth step, the metric weighting which obtained from normalization decision metric multiple by normalized fuzzy important weight metric was normalized. There are 3 sets of normalized metric weighting was formed. Then, in step 5, all the metric was turned into concordant and discordant set. After that, the index concordant and discordant were determined and be finalized by index final concordance and discordant. In order to have a ranking result, the index final concordance and discordant were gone through the outranking process before we can finally determine the ranking. After analyzing the result of ranking SUV, this shows that proton S50 as the number 1, which means that the decision maker should consider buying proton S50 as his new car, since the decision maker favors proton S50 over the other SUV. Perodua Ativa is ranked as number 2, and Nissan X-Ray is ranked as the last position. The last position shows that the decision maker should not consider this car in order to buy as SUV. Hence, this result shows that fuzzy ELECTRE is a good method to analyze and ranking a few alternatives based on several criteria. From the table shows, we can see that proton S50 ranked as number 1 for both fuzzy ELECTRE ranking and decision maker's original ranking. This is because the decision maker really loved proton S50 wholeheartedly. Hence, the ranking result shows that the same result as decision maker's original ranking. For Perodua Ativa, the fuzzy ELECTRE ranking shows that Perodua Ativa as a second place, but different to decision maker's original ranking. This is because the decision maker is not interested toward Perodua Ativa. He feels that the design of Perodua Ativa is bad and he is not choosing Perodua Ativa as a second car. But with the result of fuzzy ELECTRE ranking, the decision maker should consider to buy Perodua Ativa after Proton S50. He should not make silly decision and not choosing the car just because of the design only. He should consider other criteria also to buy a car. This clearly shows that fuzzy ELECTRE can handle uncertainty and subjectivity of human thoughts. This is used to avoid human confusing in making the decision. Early on, I said that buying the best as sport utility vehicles can be difficult to many people. So, with the help of fuzzy ELECTRE and by this study, I propose the best decision that the decision maker can select. Out of 5 chosen SUV, Proton S50 should be considered as the best SUV in every criterion of the car when compared to other SUV, followed by Perodua Ativa, Honda HR-V, Mazda CX-5 and Nissan X-Trail. As a recommendation for a better result in future study, researchers should consider more criteria and alternatives. It also recommended to use another fuzzy number or another fuzzy multi-criteria decision-making method such as fuzzy AHP and fuzzy Topsys. That's all from me. Thank you for lending me your ears to hear my presentation. Thank you.